What is up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue. I was supposed to be outside on the grill today, but we got a little bit of rain, so I decided to bring it inside and get to work on this air fryer. Anyway, what I'm gonna be doing in this video is gonna be more of a snack than an actual recipe. What we are going to be using is our air fryer to make air fried pork cutlets out of some pork tenderloin. Anyway, very simple and easy recipe, straight to the point. Let's get rocking. First thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and prepare our pork. Like I said, we're just using a pork tenderloin, and we're gonna cut these pretty thin. We're gonna be pounding these out, so they're actually gonna be a pretty good size when we're done with them. So don't be afraid to cut them too thin. One thing I did notice today when I went to go look for my meat mallet was that I just remembered that I broke it and threw it away and never replaced it. So we're going to be using just a regular old, I'm probably going to be using like a coconut milk can or something like that. So if you don't have a meat mallet, don't feel like you need to have a meat mallet to do it. You could either use a can, or you could go ahead and use a rolling pin or something like that. Anyway, we got our pork sliced up. I'm gonna go ahead and get a bag, and we're just gonna go ahead and pound these out. All right, guys, so what we've done is we have our pork slices in a, you can use a Ziploc bag or whatever you'd like. Like I said, I don't have my meat mallet. We're just gonna go ahead and pound them out. You don't need to hit it too hard. We're just trying to thin them out just a little bit. And now that we have those pounded out, we're just gonna go ahead and set up our breading station. Breading is concerned, use whatever kind of breading you'd like, make your own, buy some. What I'm going to be using is some of this shrimp fry breading by Zatarain's. This stuff actually has a nice profile that I think is going to work well with this pork. Anyway, as far as our egg mixture goes, what I did was I put 2 tablespoons of milk and then 2 eggs and then whisked that up. So we're going to be double battering this, so I'm going to be going from our dry to our wet and then back to our dry, and we're going to set it on a wire rack. Now once we get all these made and get them on the wire rack, what we're going to do is we're going to let these sit until that coating becomes kind of tacky. You're not going to want to throw it in the air fryer until you do have that, or else it's just not going to crisp up the way you'd want it to. Alright, so this is a wrap. I'm going to go ahead and let these sit for about 10 minutes and go ahead and get our air fryer ready to go and preheated. So a question a lot of people ask me is what temperature that I'm cooking at when I'm using this Actifry Air Fryer. This air fryer does not have a temperature setting. It's either on or it's off. Anyway, our pork has been sitting over on the counter for about 5 minutes, letting that coating get kind of tacky on it. We're going to go ahead and preheat this air fryer. So what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and take the paddle out. You're not going to want the paddle in for this cook, because if it spins around, you're basically just going to be taking the breading off. I am going to go ahead and spray it down with a little bit of this olive oil and turn it on, and we'll let it go for about 3 or 4 minutes before we get the pork in. So we have our air fryer heated up. We're just going to go ahead and lay down our pork cutlets. And you really don't want them to overlap, or you will not get that part crispy. So we may have to do this in a couple different batches. Yep, that's going to take 2 batches. We're going to get this rocking. We'll check back on this in about 7 minutes, see where we're at. Make up a real quick sauce to go along with these fried pork cutlets. And you know what, this is just something I'm throwing together. I have a little bit of Dijon mustard, and we're going to be eyeballing this. Good stuff. Hit it with a little bit of honey. Let's go with a little bit more. And some El Yucateco extra hot sauce. Go ahead and get that in. You can never have enough heat when it comes to this. At least a commercial hot sauce. There we go. We're gonna blend that together, and that's gonna be our dipping sauce. We're about 5 minutes in on this. I took a look through the lid and I could see that we're almost cooked all the way through, and the top of this is starting to get a little crusty, and that's when we're going to want to hit the top with some of this olive oil. So let's go ahead and do that. And you want to hit all that dry stuff. And it does tend to cook a little bit more back in this area if you don't have the paddle in, so we may end up rotating all this around. All right, let's take a look at these in a few more minutes. So we've gone about a total of 12 minutes. Let's go ahead and check this. And I do believe these are done. I'm gonna go ahead and set these off on a plate. No need to set them on a wire rack or anything because there's little or no oil on this to be draining off. We're gonna go ahead and get our second batch done. So the second batch is about done, and what I did was about a minute and a half ago I threw in the first batch just to kind of warm those up. So both batches are in here right now. Just gonna go ahead and plate these up, taste them, and see what we think. So this is a wrap. Time to get into this and see what's up. This is the first time I've actually done pork tenderloin like this, so let's give it a shot. Before I get into this pork, that sauce is banging. But yeah, I am gonna go ahead and double dip on this, but man, this stuff is good. Definitely, if you see pork tenderloin on sale at the store, or you have one laying around, this is definitely something that you won't be ashamed of. Anyway, before I go ahead and kill the rest of this, I'd like to thank you guys for stopping by New Hippie Barbecue. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.